Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. I'm going to start off by saying, unfortunately, I'm not looking directly in the camera because it's the way my phone is turned to the side just for this video. What I wanted to talk about was Sha'Carri, and I wanted to talk about just the whole thing, what happened to her, and how people are trying to compare her story to Michael Phelps' story. And let me start off by saying this. We all know how the race war is. Okay, if you're African American, of course, you're going to have a lot of things against you. Okay, if your skin is brown, you're going to have a lot of things against you. And I say that in so much because a lot of times, I see a lot of people when they say black, we tend to just say African American. So many different versions of black people in this world. So if you're brown, you have a lot that's held against you. What I love about Sha'Carri is that she's unapologetic, she's young, she's vibrant. She doesn't care, what you think about her. I love the hood look that she has. I think that's what makes her who she is. And I think that we are rooting for her. And I think that's so amazing to root for her because we need that. Tokyo is going to have a lot of sisters. It's a lot of sisters doing a lot of things in the world. And I'm extremely proud about that. But when it comes to Sha'Carri, and it comes to Michael Phelps, those two stories cannot be compared. It's like comparing apples and oranges, and I'm going to explain why. Now, Sha'Carri, she is in the position right now, but right now she's on a 30-day suspension, but she's in the position where she wants to be an Olympian. She wants to go to the Olympics, okay? When it comes to Michael Phelps was already an Olympian. He already won his medals. He was never tested positive for marijuana, and to be honest with you, we would have never found out about that Michael Phelps picture of him smoking a bong if his friend didn't try to blackmail him, his friend at the time. And it's so interesting when it comes to that story because when his friend, so-called friend, tried to blackmail Michael Phelps, he wanted a huge amount of money, and Michael Phelps was not down with paying him that amount of money. So of course what he did next was sold the pictures to the tabloids. Michael Phelps did receive a lot of backlash. A lot of sponsorships. There was a lot of different things that he lost because of this. When it comes to Sha'Carri, yes, I love her attitude. I love so many things about her, but we got to be honest about the situation. She caused that on herself, and we know how the Olympics go. The Olympics is a competitive entity. It's a competitive world. People train to be a part of the Olympics since they were kids to now. Some people, they mess up and they come back 4 years later and then they do an amazing job. So, she has a chance to make it. And I believe that she's going to look at this and she's going to take what happened and become better than she's ever been before. Now, what I do also love about Sha'Carri is that she took ownership of the situation. A lot of people, when they do things, they'll try to blame other people, and we don't know. I have my mom. And for anybody that goes through losing a family member, I cannot tell that person how to grieve. It's up to that individual, And a lot of people are saying, oh, they're trying to keep a queen down or whatever. Of course, the Olympics have a lot of rules. There are a lot of things that the Olympics has done at this moment, this very moment, to try to keep a lot of things concerning black people away from the Olympics. So that is a true statement. But when I hear people saying, oh, the Olympics is trying to keep a queen down, the Olympics didn't try to keep her down. She did that. And she took ownership of that. Now you have a lot of people that's saying things like, oh, she smoked weed. How could she do that or whatever? Listen, it's so many goddamn weed heads. I'm the last person, and I know for a fact it's millions of people for the last person need to be the last person to even criticize her. You know what I'm saying? I would never make it seem like I never picked up a blunt when I was in college during my days. I would never say that. So I'm not looking at her and downing her. What I'm saying is when it comes to the Olympics, you already know that they're holding brown skinned girls, black girls, accountable for everything. We know how they talked about her hair. We know how they talked about her nails and everything that's involving her. So me as an individual, it's just like getting a job. If you want to get a bomb ass job and you're doing things that you're not supposed to do, you're going to make sure that you do what you got to do so you can get a job. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at it. So I don't look at it as they're holding a queen down. They're stopping a queen from doing this. They stopping a queen from that. That's destiny. God did that for her. All of those girls that were running on that day, she beat all of those girls. So that's her destiny. And we cannot take that away from her. But I love the fact that she took ownership. She understood it. She says, I'm a human, and I respect that. But we cannot look at the situation and compare the two, even though we want to. I don't think that this is the time where we can play the race card. And if we do want to play the race card concerning Michael Phelps, let's be real. Michael Phelps took a lot of L's behind the picture, and he was never tested positive for marijuana. He came back in the Olympics and killed it, okay? And not just that, he waited I think it was between 3 to 4 months after the Olympics. So it's not saying that Sha'Carri can't do her weed or whatever, but it's just the point that it's a time and a place when it's concerning your career, and you know how many things are held against you. So this is my personal opinion. A lot of people have a lot of different things that they're saying concerning it. It's a great thing that it's just a 30-day suspension versus them completely banning her from the Olympics altogether. I don't really know what's going to really happen with her concerning this, but I know whatever happens to her, she's going to come out stronger, and I'm still rooting for her regardless. But this is just my personal opinion, which we all have opinions. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you have a beautiful day.